Have you ever wondered what lurks deep beneath the water's surface? Watching, waiting for an unexpected victim to float by? Nothing is more horrifying than the unknown and the unexpected, especially when it comes from the cold depths of the unexplored sea. Could you survive? Or are you destined for a watery grave? If you listen closely, you can hear the whispers in the winds telling us. The Tale of the Juggler.
The boat rattles as we're rammed from the side again. A bottle falls from the galley counter and shatters on the floor. Warm beer spreads across the vinyl, making it slick like the damp floor of the head. All 48 feet of us tilt sideways in the dark. Everyone starts screaming. "What's happening?" Sandy cries. After an hour of this constant madness, she is becoming seriously unhinged. When theatrical types like Sandy lose it, their craziness can be unnerving. The four of us stand like statues behind the little nautical steering wheel, decorated with white rope and spokes. None of the instruments on the panel are working. Everything outside is black. The river, the sky. It's only a little after 3 in the afternoon, but it might as well be midnight. Where did the sun go? Sandy lets out a long, low moan. Suddenly, she wraps her arms around herself and begins to shake. "I want my mommy," she blubbers. Her mommy? Sandy's almost 40. Her mommy lives in a nursing home and poops in her diapers. "Look," says Sandy's boyfriend Ray as he juts his stubbly chin forward. He's covered in tattoos and wears a bandana on his head all the time, like he works on motorcycles for a living. He doesn't. He's an accountant. What a tool. Ray points to the Canadian side of the St. Lawrence River. We're about a mile out in the water. The buildings that should be lining the shores near Kingston, Ontario, are all but gone. There aren't any lights to cut through the darkness. Immediately, the four of us turn to our left and look over the port side. The buildings in Clayton, New York are barely shadows. There is no light coming from there, either. My girlfriend, Melanie, puts her hand on mine. "Freddie, I'm scared," she whispers, so softly that nobody hears her but me. She clears her throat and says it again, louder this time. I'm scared too, but I can't tell her that. Melanie, Sandy, Ray, and I are supposed to be having a normal weekend out on the river. We brought a cooler. We have food. We even have enough gas to make it down to Lake Ontario if we want. Now, the world has gone dark and none of us are having a normal weekend. Nothing about what is going on is normal. Boom! The boat is rammed again by something big. Sandy abruptly lets her arms fall to her side. She plops down on the floor and starts crying. "We're gonna die!" She sniffs and whimpers. "We're all gonna die!" Ray pulls out his cell phone and starts frantically pressing buttons. I don't know why. His phone is dead. All of our phones are dead. They stopped working when the darkness rolled in like some sort of weird fog bank. Then the boat was rammed by God knows what. I want to tell him that it's no use, but my words will only hit his chest and fall to the floor. "Damn it," he cries and pushes past all of us and heads toward the stern of the boat. He holds the phone up in the air as he goes, desperate for a signal, desperate for anything. "I want to go home," whimpers Sandy. She's still crumpled on the floor. Melanie finally loses it. "Shut up, you cow," she screams at her. Just shut up. I immediately fold my arms around my girlfriend, pull her close, and rest my chin on her head in hopes of calming her down. What I really need is for someone to calm me down, but I know I can't crack. Out of the four of us, I think I'm the only one who is still holding on to sanity. A tiny bit of anger crawls into my brain and squats there like a fat toad. This is Sandy's boat. She bought it with the money she got from her cheating ex in the divorce settlement. She's the captain. She should be in charge. I clear my throat. "Sandy," I say as quietly and evenly as possible. Where's the generator?" Her response is lightning fast and covered in venom. "I don't know, Freddie," she screams at me. "You think I know? Generators cost money. Do you think I'm made of money?" I could spread my arms out wide and gesture at the 48-foot midlife crisis yacht she bought, but what would be the point? I shrug. "Oh my Lord," cries Ray from the back of the boat. I can barely see him. The darkness is so thick it's almost a tangible thing. "What is that?" I don't know what he's talking about, but the girls don't even make any attempt to respond. I take a deep breath and slowly try and disentangle myself from Melanie. She doesn't want to let me go. Instead, she digs her nails into my biceps. "It's okay," I tell her, even though I'm starting to understand that we are very far from okay. "I'll be right back." Then I leave her there with the sobbing, mewling Sandy and follow after her ridiculously inked boyfriend. Before I even get close, I hear him let loose with a whole bunch of swears. His words sound frantic and laced with fear. "What's the matter?" I ask as I reach Ray at the back of the boat. "There!" he cries. He shoots one arm out and points into the darkness and the depths of the pitch-colored water. What is that?"
My eyes scan down Ray's tattooed arm from bulging biceps to fingertips. Is that a mermaid on his forearm? And into the water not 10 yards from the boat. I can barely make out a shape rising from the water, a smooth, bulbous head covered with matted orange seaweed. At least I think it's orange. Is it even seaweed? There's a hint of human-like facial features. Ears, nose, lips, on the stark white face, reflecting any light that exists in this void. But it's not human scale, it's huge. The head must be 6 feet across. As it rises out of the water, the eyes jolt open, glowing orbs in the darkness around us. The lips part, revealing jagged teeth, gnashing and grinding. Oh my God, it's a clown! Ray turns to look at me, and the words have hardly left my lips when it suddenly goes into action, moving at high speed through the water and battering the starboard side of the boat with its ugly head. The force of the impact knocks me down a split second before Ray lands on top of me. The full weight of his body pins me to the deck, his face inches from mine. Strangely, I feel safer than I've felt since this whole nightmare began. I relish the moment, despite the fact that Ray is a total tool. So too does Ray. A few delicious seconds later, he rolls off me, scrambles to his feet, and grabs my hand. A jolt of electricity races through me as he pulls me to my feet next to him. I am strangely aroused. I've never been a risk-taker, an adventurer, but this is exciting. The boat continues to pitch in the water, rolling aftershocks following the ramming we've just received, so I grip the railing. Ray stands close behind me, steadying himself by reaching around me to grasp the railing as well. It's almost like that moment in Titanic, but without the romance. Ray lifts his arm and points once again toward the creature, the hideous clown head cutting through the water. It's swimming away from us. Ray states the obvious, his tattoos rippling as he pounds his fist in the air, his chest thumping rhythmically against my back. I feel his chin stubble brush the back of my neck. Ray's sense of victory is fleeting. The thing stops and turns to face us, a hideous grin spreading across its garish face. Now I see a tail emerge from the water and snap the air. "Oh my God, it's a mer-clown!" I shout. Indeed, it's like Pennywise with a fishtail, and I shudder. Suddenly, it's in motion again, heading straight for us. I spin away from the railing, but am trapped. Ray is frozen in place, his hands white-knuckling the railing. For the second time, our faces are so close I feel heat radiating from his skin. It's as if time stops for a moment, and I feel safe once more. But the urgency of the situation shatters my reverie. "We've got to move!" I try to snap Ray out of his inertia before the impact, but it's too late. The mer-clown rams the side of the boat again, accompanied by the sound of splintering wood, as we pitch steeply toward the port side. The impact sends us flying across the deck, and we land with a loud thud in a heap. This time, I'm on top, and the look on Ray's face tells me he's never been in this position before. Frankly, neither have I. I mean, I've never even heard of a mer-clown. A scream cuts through the air like a really annoying, high-pitched, whiny, demanding, overprivileged knife. It's Sandy. In the heat of the moment, I'd forgotten about the girls. As one does. The force of this last ramming sent Sandy into the water, and she flails about, splashing and gurgling wildly. Ray pushes me off him, and slinks along the slippery, sloping deck toward the sounds of Sandy struggling. "She can't swim!" he shouts as he whips off his bandana and jumps into the water. "Melanie!" I think to myself, having temporarily forgotten that I too have a girlfriend on the boat with me. I scan the darkness for any sign of her and glimpse a dim shape dangling from the railing on the starboard side of the boat. We are now listing so heavily that the deck is nearly vertical. "Melanie!" I shout aloud this time. "I can't hold on!" she yells back to me. "Hold on!" I shout instinctively before realizing how inane that sounds. I search for anything I can grasp in the dark, as if it were the back room of some seedy bar, but it's useless. I can't climb to where Melanie dangles perilously in the air. I'm helpless to save her. Once again, the mer-clown's head mercilessly bangs against the boat. Another scream, this time Melanie's voice, followed by a splash, and I know she's in the water too. The impact rolls the boat past the point of no return, and as if in slow motion, it capsizes, trapping me underneath.
And there I am underwater with a boat on top of me. But I can't think about that now. I have 3 drowning friends and a mer-clown to deal with. That's not something you say every day. I managed to swing my way into what had been the lower cabin. Luckily, when the boat capsized, a small pocket of air was trapped inside. My head emerges from under the water and my lungs take in a big gulp of air. Nothing, not even Ray on top of me, is at this point. The air brings life and energy back into my sorry, struggling body. Okay, think, Freddy. How do you get rid of a giant mer-clown? 1. Pop his balloon. Problem, he doesn't have a balloon. 2. Don't laugh at his jokes and he'll get bored and walk away. 2 problems. He's not telling any jokes and he doesn't have any legs. Which leads me to number 3. If I remember correctly, their one weakness is the juggler vein. But it's up by his neck. That's going to be some climb, but I have to do it to save my friends. I saw an old harpoon in the cabin used for decoration that I can use to stab him. Okay, I have a plan, but I feel like I'm forgetting something. Just then I hear a scream. Right, Melanie. She's still out in the water with the mer-clown. I dive under and grab the harpoon and make my way to the surface. The scene is chaos. The yacht is overturned and in pieces. Random objects are bobbing up and down in the water, including Ray. But there is no sign of Melanie or Sandy. I'm too far away from Ray to get him, but the rigging lines are wrapped around the hull of the yacht. I grab one. It's slick and slippery, but I manage to use it to climb to the top. As I get my footing, I look out into the inky blackness and then hear a maniacal laugh from behind me. I turn, slipping, and almost lose my footing, but I stab the hop into the hull and use it to steady myself. There, looming above me, is Pennywise, the merclown. In one hand he has Melanie, and in the other he has what looks to be like 2 hot dogs. I look up at his sinister smiling face and notice blood dripping from his sharp teeth. Those weren't hot dogs in his hand. They were Sandy's legs. No! With a laugh and a wink, Pennywise the merclown slams his glove-covered hand down into the water beside the boat. The boat tips to the left and then to the right. A hard wave slams into my face and I'm thrown off the top, the harpoon still lodged in the hull. Fortunately, I managed to grab one of the ropes before I hit the water, but I'm waist deep in the surf, struggling to hold on. I hear Ray behind me. He's made his way closer and I can reach him. I grab his hand and pull hard. He wraps his arms around me. In another setting, I might be enjoying this, but I've got a killer merclown breathing down my neck, about to eat my girlfriend. Thank you, Ray exclaims as he holds on to me tighter. Just hold on tight, I say, realizing again how inane some of my sentences really are. We're going to die, aren't we? He screams, digging his surprisingly manicured nails into me. No, we're not. Everything is going to be fine, I reply. Just think, I say, trying to calm him down. It can't get worse than this. At this point, lightning streaks across the sky and starts to rain. Hard. Oh, come on, I scream to the heavens. Give me a break. There's nowhere to go, Freddy. What are you going to do? Asked Pennywise with his sharp and grin. Reluctantly, I pry Ray's arms from around me and try to climb back up on the boat to get the harpoon. Oh, is this your boat, Freddy? It's nice. It floats. I can take care of that. Pennywise smashes his fist into what was left of the boat, sending me airball until I smack into the water several feet away. What was left of the boat is now gone. As is Ray, I can't see him anymore. I hear a scream again. Melanie! Oh, is this your girlfriend? Pennywise holds Melanie towards me. She tries to struggle but looks exhausted. He has her tight. And is this your boyfriend? He juts out his other hand, and there, wide-eyed and pale-faced, is Ray. It's time to make a choice, Eddie boy. The girl or the boy. You choose. But just know I'm getting a little hungry. If you don't make your choice soon, I'll eat them both. How do I know you won't just eat them both anyway? I ask, spitting water out of my mouth. Fair play, Freddy. I promise you on the merclown's oath that I will eat the one you choose. This gives me an idea. I didn't know there was a merclown oath, I replied. How did you come up with it? I've managed to grab on to the floating piece of the hull that has the harpoon still stuck into it. I'm hoping Pennywise likes to talk and I can distract him. We established it 300 years ago, and we take it very seriously. Before that, merclowns were swimming around, pulling starfish from ears at whim, and grabbing all the electric eels they could find to use as joy buzzers. It was chaos. No respectable merclown could live like that. So we decided on some rules. Tell me more. This is very interesting, I say as I pull the harpoon out of the hull. Well, there was this one time. Pennywise began to have a distant look in his eyes, recalling merclown days gone by. This was my opportunity. I swam around behind him and grabbed on to the flared-out bottoms of his shirt. Funny, you'd think being a merclown he wouldn't wear fabric, as it would weigh him down in the water. I slowly managed to climb up, grabbing the fabric, harpoon in hand, until I reached his collar. There was so much frill to it, but I made my way inside. It was like a maze. Just when I thought I had found his neck, the fabric would fold over and lead me further away. I could still hear Pennywise rambling on and on about this card game he had with Twisty and the Joker, and how they just kept cheating by pulling cards out from up their sleeves. That's when I found his neck and the Juggler. The white makeup was so thick here that I wasn't sure if the harpoon could even reach it. Also, I was amazed that the makeup was so waterproof. I arched back, and with all of my might, plunged the harpoon deep into his juggler. Pennywise screamed. He dropped Melanie and Ray into the water. His hands went up to his neck, and I was thrown off of him, hitting the water so hard I started to black out. The last thing I saw as I sank deeper and deeper was the teetering body of Pennywise hit the water and begin to sink. There is a knock. I open my eyes, and I'm in the bedroom of the yacht. "Freddie, it's time for dinner," I hear Melanie's sweet voice say. "Be right there," I reply. I shake my head. It was just a dream. I get dressed and splash some water on my face to bring myself back to reality. I head up to the deck, casually glancing at the harpoon decoration on my way. Melanie and Sandy are sitting at the table on the deck, giggling over something. Ray is cracking open a beer. I smile. I walk over to the table, and just then, there is a bump against the boat, and the sky begins to get dark. "What was that?" asked Sandy with a bit of tremor in her voice. "Probably just a seal or something. They're playful," Ray says, and shrugs it off. You know, he really was handsome, despite that bandana. Another bump. This one much stronger. The boat tips slightly. The sky is getting darker. I look out onto the water. It begins to bubble. Then I start to see a giant dome rise onto it. No, not a dome, but a head. A stark white head with orange hair. Then I see a large fishtail slap against the water. "Oh, it was just a dream," I say silently to myself. I see a painted red mouth rise up from the frothy water. No, it can't be. A Ronald McDonald Merclown. I look up into the heavens. Oh, come on!